If you took on board everything we covered in the last video, then you should now have an online store that's highly effective at converting visitors into paying customers. You're drawing attention, making your products look desirable, and then maximizing the profits from each sale that you make. All that's left is to make sure as many people as possible are finding your website. And if you do this right, then your business will start to scale and you can invest more back into marketing. Here are some strategies you can use. Before you start spending money on adverts, SEO might be a better first port of call. SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization and is essentially the process of optimizing a website and link strategy so that your store is easy to find on Google when people search for it. To do this, you often begin by identifying a search term, otherwise known as a key phrase, such as buy hats online. Only you won't want to choose buy hats online because that will be very competitive and very difficult to rank for. This is why it's such a good idea to have a particular target audience and a particular type of product. Remember how we discussed selling brightly colored shirts? Well, brightly colored shirts is likely a key phrase that people look for, but which isn't quite as competitive. To start ranking for this term, you need to ensure that you have a well optimized website, meaning it's fast, mobile friendly, and easy to navigate, and that you include the keywords you've selected in your descriptions and on your blog occasionally. Aim for around 1% density, so for every 100 words, you can include the key phrase once. It's also useful to include it in headers and meta descriptions, and then to try and build as many links as possible on relevant websites. Now, this might mean getting a fashion blog to link to you, for example. You might be able to do this by providing them with free content, which is called guest posting. And speaking of content, content marketing is also a fantastic tool you can use. This basically means you're running a blog, and the aim is to get people to subscribe and to look for your site when they want information relevant to your industry. So, if you sell gardening tools, you should have an authoritative blog on gardening that people can subscribe to. In doing this, you'll now have an audience that trusts your recommendations and that listens to what you say. You can now recommend them your own products and even provide them with special offers. Email marketing goes hand in hand with content marketing. Try to build the trust of your audience to the point where they're happy to hand over their contact details, then subtly sell your products to them. Building an audience for your blog is, of course, the tricky part, but you can do this by running a social media account and by using SEO. And speaking of social media, this can also be used to directly sell your products. One great way to do this is by promoting the value proposition and the lifestyle that your products support. So, if you want people to buy your fitness books, this might mean running an Instagram account that includes lots of pictures of you training in the gym. You can also use influencer marketing this way. Why not get a big Instagram star to post a photo with one of your products? You can even sell directly through several social media channels. Pinterest, for example, now lets you sell straight through your account, and so does Facebook if you use the right WooCommerce plugin or Shopify plugin for your page. Don't be afraid to ask your friends to share your page and your special offers either. Note that with both content marketing and social media, the main objective is to provide value. If you don't do that, people won't follow you and you won't have an audience to sell to. PPC is pay-per-click marketing. This is an excellent tool for getting more sales, but it costs money. Basically, these platforms charge you only when someone clicks on an advert. This means that if the adverts don't work, then you won't be charged anything. You can set a minimum cost per click, though the more you're willing to spend, the more your advert will show up in competitive niches. The biggest ad platforms for PPC are Google AdWords, meaning your advert appears on Google, and Facebook ads. And they must work. Amazon spends up to $1 million a day on AdWords. And particularly useful is the remarketing feature of AdWords that lets you advertise products that people have previously considered buying back to your old visitors when they're on other sites. We're not going to go through every single e-commerce platform setup process here. However, as Shopify and WooCommerce are probably the best hosted and self-hosted options respectively, it might be useful to look at least two platforms and how you get started. We'll look at Shopify in this video and WooCommerce in the next one. Shopify offers a 14-day free trial, which makes it easy to set up and start playing around and to decide if this is the right choice for you. To get started with that, head over to Shopify's site, and then you can either enter your email address in here and click on Start Your Free Trial, or you can come up here to Get Started. So just click here on Get Started. And it takes you through to this page where it says Start your free 14-day trial of Shopify. And you enter in your email address, password, and your store name. And then you click here to create your store. So let me just pause the video while I do that. Okay, that's done. So all I need to do now is click here where it says Create Your Store. And it goes through all this sort of processes. And there we go, says success, your store is ready to go. Now you have to add an address to set up currencies and tax rates. So again, I'll just pause the video while I do that. Okay, I've got all that in. This is all made up, by the way. So please don't turn up at my office looking for me because I don't really work there. Okay, so then just simply click on Next. Okay, then they want some information about yourself. They want to know, are you already selling? And you can choose from these options here. So I'm just playing around, so I'll put that in. And how much revenue does your business currently make in a year? Well, I'm just getting started, so we'll say $0. And then, are you setting up the store for a client? If you are, then you check that box there, and then click here that says Enter My Store. And it takes a moment or two to whirl through. And there we go. You get the welcome message here, and it says your trial has just started. So you've got the trial period to see if this is right for you. I'll just talk you through the interface here. It's fairly straightforward. You can select a theme for your website. So you can go through and choose from these various ones that they have here. And you can see if I scroll down, you've got quite a selection to choose from. These are free themes, or you can also buy a premium theme as well via their theme store. Let's just go back here. Go back to the home here. You can then click here to add a product to your store. Just click on that one so you can see what it looks like. You add a description and a longer description. You can give it a product type, vendor, etc. Then you want to add an image which you can upload from your computer. You want to make sure that it's a nice compelling image, something that's going to encourage people to actually make a purchase. Of course, you'll also need to add payment details if you want to start getting paid. With all that done, your store is ready to go live. It really is that quick and easy to start selling and to start profiting in a big way, well, potentially. If you want to add extra functionality to your site, you can start adding apps as well, which work just like WordPress plugins to enhance the features of your store. There are numerous apps that you can add to a Shopify store, and you can find them by selecting Apps on the left-hand side of the screen in the burger menu. For example, if you want to sell digital products, then you can do this by using digital downloads. This app allows you to sell your products digitally and thereby make money from ebooks, etc., without having to email them to your buyers. Another great one is Pre-Order Manager, And this does what it says, and it lets people pre order your forthcoming products. The great thing about this is you can use it to get people excited about your forthcoming products and to build a buzz, and it can even be a way to make sure that there's a market for your product before you invest too much time into creating it. And finally, consider recurring orders by Bold apps. This app allows you to charge your customers on a recurring basis. This is excellent for selling your products on a regular basis. For instance, if your customers want a monthly supply of protein shake, or if they want a subscription that will give them something new to read every week. Either way, recurring orders are very good for your cash flow, as they can provide you with a much more stable and predictable income, and they convince your customers to potentially lay down more money for what you're selling up front.